Welcome back to Johnny Custom Glocks Front Sight Press.
That was great timing, was it not? You know why? Because I feel really good tonight.
You feel really good tonight? I feel really good tonight. Wick, you feel really good?
Yes.
We had to make Wick wear the hat.
You had to think about that.
Wick had to wear the hat because we ran out of powder after we did your head.
Yeah.
Well, you just grab some of that goo that's in your hair and rub it on there.
Nice and shiny.
Nice.
This is my bad side, so I can't have it reflecting off his head onto my face. All right.
Are you giving anything away tonight?
Yeah, why not, man? Put me on the spot.
Awesome.
Put me on the spot, dude.
Well, we have a conversation about that at about 7:15.
Right, but I wasn't here yet.
And we didn't get an answer, so we just moved on to the next important stuff.
You
So
were not here at 7:15.
Wick was like,
I was here before him.
Oh yeah.
Did you ever drive behind him, by the way?
Oh, I drive like a grandma.
You know, like it's not even like a thrill to pass him. Like you know when the snakes, like when you get a snake and it's a frozen mouse and you got to put it in the heater to warm it up so the snake thinks it's alive. You know, that's what it's like passing him.
No thrill at all. There's no like, am I gonna make it? Am I gonna make it?
Oh, you're definitely gonna make it.
You're just like,
I do not drive
holy
fast.
crap. The guy in a walker, passing him on the other side.
No, I was not paying attention.
Yeah, you were being a good employee. You were working on.
I was editing.
She was editing.
Yeah.
Right.
But he did tell me that you were making faces.
Yeah. I was. I almost got 3 wrecks today.
Oh.
Literally.
I believe it.
Crazy.
You know how many?
I mean, one guy, it was the hardest. I was literally going to drive. I was going to chase. If I hadn't had the kids in the car, I'd have chased them down. That's how bad it was.
Wow.
You try locking up a 10,000-pound vehicle.
You do have a big truck.
Yeah, and you know, and all of a sudden, and beyond that, one of my ammo boxes opened, and you know, it's like spam.
Oh no, I got one better than that.
All right.
I got one better than that.
Okay.
So we used to clean the range and take aim.
But I gotta get a drink for this.
Yeah, you need a drink for that, right? So on Sundays, right, they close down, and we go in there Sunday night and clean the range. Like me and Mafia, you know, if the kids were with it, we take down whatever, right? Yeah. And then what we did is we would get to take home a couple 5-gallon buckets of brass.
Okay.
Right? So we're driving up 41, right, in Bradenton, right? On a Sunday, there is nobody on the road. Nobody. It's us in the middle lane, right? In the middle lane, just us, and some a-hole pulls out in front of us, and not into that lane,
Right.
not all the way over, in front of us, like right in front of us. It's like we're the only freaking vehicle on the road.
Like you couldn't have waited.
What you gonna do? You got 3 in all the other lanes. He pulls out and gets in front of us, and like we almost hit him. That's how close it was. Like, where are you going?
Yeah, that's where I was.
I lock it up, and guess what happens to 3 5-gallon buckets of brass? 15 gallons of brass. Guess what happens?
Oh.
I screamed for like a week.
Is brass magnetic?
Nope.
Why don't you just get out a magnet?
You gotta pick up every single
Everyone.
piece.
We traded that car, and it was like, oh, if you find some 9mm, it's not criminal.
Yeah, try driving that. Like, you know, every time I had to change clothes after I'd shoot. I don't know if any of you guys ever made the mistake of going to the airport with gunpowder on you.
Yeah.
My buddy did.
It's like, I already checked in my gun. And now I'm going through security, and all of a sudden they get full, more like sweeped to the side. Yep. You know, when they do one of those, like, okay, we gotta get you out of here. My kids are looking at me like, Dad, what'd you do again?
Again.
I got pulled over because they found a 9mm round in my backpack.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. That was a bodyguard gig. We just met with a client.
Oh, it's the worst.
At the airport, and then we're flying out. He goes through. Client goes through. I'm behind her. They pull me aside. I'm standing there like, oh, here we go. The guy's looking. And the guy's like that. I go, is it my flashlight? He goes, no, I think it's this bullet. I go, oh, that ain't good.
I had one of my favorite knives, and I forgot to, we checked the luggage. I forgot I had it on me.
Yeah.
And Aaron is like, you're throwing it in the trash.
Yeah.
Because we're going to miss the flight. So I said, absolutely not. I said, I'm going to dress this to the house. I had to go through this whole rigmarole. And she's like, there's no way we're going to miss the plane. I said, no, don't worry about it. You know, it'll probably be running late or whatever. So I did that. We were like super late, but the plane didn't take off for some reason. And we're in the plane, and she's like, what did you do? I said, what are you talking about? She's like, I know you did something to make this plane stall. You know, I absolutely know.
Yeah, like you have the power to have them wait for you. He's like, I got one of his triggers. Just hold on.
I called. Now this was like probably about 20-some years ago. I called and said I was with the Red Cross, and we had blood coming for that plane. And if it takes off, there's going to be problems. And they held the plane.
Wow.
I swear to you, can ask her. You know she won't lie. I know she won't lie to me because the
So
other
how
day,
expensive was the knife?
You know this is live, right?
Yeah. But I was.
So how expensive was the knife
What's the
that you didn't
statute
want to give away?
limitations on that?
7 years, I hope.
Back then, man, it was expensive. It was like $300 back before inflation.
Yeah, exactly.
What are you carrying now?
Got
A Wicks special, I would know what they look like.
That's fine, because we both have microtechs on us. What do you have?
What's that?
What
French
knife do you
pick.
have? Microtech?
I don't have to worry about it breaking. Like when it doesn't open up. See? That'd be it.
We can do third time's charm since... I would have laughed so hard if you just cut yourself, because I sharpened that for you.
We have a lot of people watching. Louis Soto, Kathy.
Oh, really? Wonder why. Wonder who's on the show.
Where's the comments? Normally the comments are on the screen right here.
Yeah, we got screen up. Where is
Why
it?
can't I see the
So why don't we do that?
comments from Sean Hilton that'll be here tonight.
Yeah.
Why don't
Oh,
you?
he's on. He says, did I win?
Oh yeah,
Probably.
right out of the gate. And I'm sorry, I still haven't touched your gun.
How come we don't got it
Well, you
up on
probably
here?
already
Can you put
knew
it up
that.
there so we can see it?
Yeah.
Comments, please. Mark's in the
Cat's
bathroom.
on. Jeff
Alright.
Young's on.
Oh,
All right, so why don't we do this?
hold on. Anybody that comes by the shop for any reason, you need to bring some form of shark. Either a shark puppet, a shark doll, a shark toy, and just walk up behind her and hold it near her until she turns around and she'll scream.
Oh.
Now, see, this is something you should have queued up. You could have queued one of those shark things
I had
up
a
so
shark like,
people could see the land shark.
But I wouldn't
Because
do that.
we used to do that. We used to play
I'm
those.
not an asshole like him.
He's
Yes,
sleeping
you
on the
are.
couch tonight.
There you go.
You know,
Oh,
only
he's-
3
Oh,
pounds,
you are
only 3 pounds
massive
of
asshole.
pressure will kill somebody if you give him a throat punch. Oh, I'm sorry. We're live.
All right.
We'll talk about that later.
Okay.
So, let's go through the sponsors and we'll come back to the shenanigans.
Okay.
How's that? So, tonight's sponsors, and get your beverage ready because we're going to be doing the toast right after this. Oh, we got a whole bunch of stuff on there.
Is this more shit we didn't go over in the meeting?
Yes,
What meeting?
exactly.
Yeah, don't tell
say
me.
that, and
You
then
didn't
Mark's
have a
gonna
meeting?
tell you how to
No, we didn't
pre-show
have a meeting.
I don't even know what those meetings are called, but we've
I
had them.
purposely show up late because I don't want to have any. I want to wing it, pure wing it.
Oh, we just ate snacks. That's it. That was our
Yeah,
meeting.
vegetables.
What do
You guys
want?
ate
go to
snacks and I
Hey,
kept
what do you want to
asking
talk
when the
about?
meeting
anyway.
was.
Let me thank the sponsors. So, I'd like to thank our king sponsor,
She's on it.
His Highness, and His Highness's
I don't know, the royal
Court
Johnny.
jesters.
court jester and I don't know, what would we call you? I can't call you a princess because you're not my
Lady Larry.
Duchess,
Lady.
Yeah, well,
Lady,
yeah.
right. My
Yeah.
lady.
her, my ladiness.
Yes, my lady. That would be perfect.
So,
How
we're
apropos.
going to cut short the whole, Glock
Brevity.
is life is too short to have a Glock trigger that sucks, because we're going to talk about how Glock triggers suck and how the master here fixes them most likely. So we'll just say, you should just get him. But what I will say is you need to follow him on Insta, on YouTube, like that, and see all the information that he's putting out, because he does put out a wealth of information. All right? He probably thinks I'm just saying that because he doesn't watch the freaking show all the time anyways. So, go ahead. What are you going to say? What are
My
you going to say?
VCR, whatever, no, what is it called?
VCR.
You're showing your age,
have
Johnny.
one of
VR, whatever's broken.
to thank Pilgrim Ammunition.
You're my little friend.
Say hello to my little friend.
We saw James already in SHOT Show a couple times. He's been there.
Did you?
A couple pictures.
Were you out there?
No, man. I don't know.
Oh.
We were gonna go, and then we decided not to go.
Especially because you won't be able to see anyone's face.
You got a mask up out there?
You're supposed to. It looks like half the people aren't doing it.
I'm going to get doctor's note. That's bad for me. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So anyway, Pilgrim Ammunition is the best self-defense ammo on the friggin' planet, right? And I know you probably don't care about your loved ones, but I care about mine, so that's why I friggin' carry. All right? We're not going to get into how friggin' devastating it is. Because whoo, is it devastating. But
That's a lot of damage.
that's right.
Yeah.
So, it's just, if you're not carrying that, you really don't care. And I don't care about 28 inches of freaking penetration and all the stupid facts they think, matter. What I care about how much damage it does to somebody evil to get them to stop. Because I just want them to stop.
Now there's switches.
And flick the switch, start a timer.
What is it? There's timers and switches. That it kind of handles both of those.
Do the devil's triangle.
Yeah.
They may
Flick
not
the
die,
switch.
but they start fighting. Right?
Real
Any
quick.
place else on the body, you're flicking a switch. Starting a timer.
Yeah.
Waiting for the brain to run out of blood. But if it makes a lot of big holes and stuff like throws shit back at you, then it usually happens. We just watched that the other day. Like last night. Me and Brandon watched that, right? Watching the sternum come out. Watch the sternum comes out. Now watch the ribs. Snap, snap. You haven't seen that?
Oh man.
Oh, yeah, so we all watch that.
What was it? The Pilgrim thing?
Yeah, it's
With
me
the-
kneeling over a torso, shooting it 9 times. It's the, what do they call it? Curtis Jackson test.
Oh, okay.
You know he was shot, 9 times with 9mm and lived, right? So Pilgrim's like, well, let's see what would happen if they shot him with this ammo. Well, he wouldn't have. And then we wouldn't be jamming on his tunes all the time.
They've been
Or
straight.
watching the movies. Fitty. All right, so anyways. All right. Travis Mack Foundation. All right, if you give money to a charity and you're not giving to Travis Mack, you hate sick kids. That's all I'm saying. Like they ought to, should need an ID or something, like everything else. All right. So Travis Mack Foundation is such a great charity, and we need to get with Blake and get going on what we're going to do.
Yeah.
All right, but they pay for music programs for kids in the University of Maryland Children's Hospital. All right, so what they're doing is they pay for people to go in and play music to the kids, teach them to play music, stuff like that. So kids that are having obviously a shitty day, they make their lives a lot better. And if you don't think that's a good thing, well, screw you. So keep giving to whatever you give to.
I like that idea because it keeps them occupied. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
You know what it's like to be in a hospital. We all know it's like
not
being in a
only just
hospital.
occupied, like we give someone like a TV screen to look at,
Yeah.
but they can better themselves. You know what I mean? They can have something where they can build upon, and that's like
Right.
that's that's what they say. Purpose. It's a reason to live. So you can add that to your script.
I'll put that in there.
All right.
Purpose. A reason to live. He's a philosopher. If you didn't know that. SRQLiveStudios.com. If you're doing a photo shoot, you got a podcast, you're doing something like that, you need to be here.
If you have aliens visit you in the middle of the night,
Well, you need
come
to
in
be.
and tell your story. They'll set
That's
you up.
it. So, check them out. All right? But this is where you need to be. They got a bunch of sets here, the green rooms. They got the big green room wall, stuff like that. And they got 2 warehouses of friggin' props. Not that they'll let you use them, but you never know.
I think
His
we're
Highness
going
got
to
his,
do some bullet time next time. That's going to be my thing.
What's going to be your thing?
We're going to do some bullet time here, man.
Bullet time?
You know, when the bullet time photographer thing where they're like, you know what I'm talking about? Behind the green screen. You guys know what bullet time is?
No.
You don't know what... Do you know what bullet time is, cameraman?
Don't listen to him, man. You're doing a great job. Mark,
The
you're actually doing a
Matrix.
great job.
The
man. You're doing a
Matrix
great
was
job.
the first movie that had bullet time.
Oh,
You
the
remember
slow-mo.
Remember how
slow-mo with
slow-mo
the...
is completely different. It's called bullet time.
So anyways,
It's like hammer time, but with a bullet.
military case surplus. Military case surplus up in Largo. Tony's always hooking us up, but we haven't been up there in a couple weeks. So
Couple months.
couple months, so that's why I'm glad you're here to give away a trigger.
Oh.
And to put one in the backpack that we're going to raffle off next month. You're the man. We're so appreciative of what you do, how generous you are.
He says, "What are you going to give away this time?" I'm like, "Hey, well, just decide for me as usual."
Voluntold.
Look, I don't want to put too much pressure on you. I got it covered.
We love you.
Yeah.
All right. What else we got going on here? And Skies and Chaos. Hold on, let me get the jack down. Skies and Chaos for letting us use Black Widow. I think we should still keep Strippers and Jack as the going out music.
Cool.
Yeah, I think
What do you think
I
about
like
that?
Yeah.
Of course. Me, you, and Gabriel sitting there voting like this, and the whole friggin' world voting against us. But we were there together, fighting a good fight. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to protest.
What's that expensive?
Oh, no, last time we said
what
that
kinda-
was
Solidarity.
Last time I was at a
Ixnay
protest,
on the
I'm now,
protest
yeah. If that door gets kicked in, I'm running that way. Tell everyone I went that way.
He's wearing a big green furry suit and he went that way. Then they go back there and see the giant ass ogre that's back there. All right. If I got a beverage.
Have a beverage of choice.
There it is.
All right. So let me see. Let us drink the bread, because without bread, there wouldn't be no toast.
Oh man, I got a plan.
Hold on, I'll give you the other one. I had. Hold on. Let me drink to that one.
I'm gonna start drinking because of that one.
I got no. It's a very
Shut
good.
up!
Was that you? Was that you?
I had to.
What are you
because it's
laughing
like-
at? You know you encourage him, right?
Remember the joke books
Yeah.
you got when you were a kid?
Oh, hey, wait. This joke's for him. To very good health, may you live to be as old as your jokes.
Oh, we don't know.
Yeah.
Don't smile at that intern. Hey, get a new intern.
About time we got some new blood around here. They
Right.
didn't tell you what
Great
happened.
to have you out here.
They didn't tell you what happened to the other guy. He's still walking bow-legged.
I'm not allowed to bring flashbangs anymore.
Hell of a job. Hell of a job.
I appreciate it. I apologize if I made myself look stupid, but
Oh, hey.
No, you're good.
No, don't worry.
Hey, Mike does that. Look, he's been looking.
I'm not
I do that on myself all the time. You're good.
getting involved in conversations. So
Look, you got Tweedledee and Tweedledum right here. So,
Tweedledum and Tweedledummer.
Tweedle.
All right.
Tweedle.
All right, here we go. We're off the leash.
All right.
Oh boy.
So, why don't you explain who you brought with you?
Well, there's no. If you guys watch the show, there's really no. Have to really explain who this gentleman is. This is Brandon, aka Wick,
Yep.
Please,
of the
please
Bullet
explain
Farm
it.
fame.
That was before John Wick.
Yes,
Yeah,
I've
yeah.
been Wick.
You've been Wick. You were Wick before John Wick was John Wick.
Oh, yeah.
No, I just want to explain that to people because,
Not
like,
before the comic
after
book.
John Wick, I'm like, no, he was there first.
When the movie first came out, everyone was like, they made a movie about you. And I've heard that joke so many times now. So many times.
So what does the Wickster do?
He's like
Wickster likes to take his glasses and knock it on the mic. That's what he likes to do.
Oh.
who's going to mess up the mic?
Well, we would have saw that and stopped him, but there's no comment.
Yeah. You know that thing we told you about like 20 minutes ago?
Are these new mics or something? They seem a little high tech.
Way high tech.
Because I was gonna say the last one I had was looked like a golf ball here.
It was until everybody ate it.
I thought you borrowed it from Led Zeppelin or something. Okay, so
So, go ahead.
Brandon is like the guy that I can pretty much throw anything at, and he'll do it. Or if I say, just figure this out.
Literally, he does that constantly.
Yeah.
He goes, do you see this thing? Do you see this pile of this stuff over here that looks nothing like this?
Make it look like the same.
And figure it out. And I go, okay.
No.
And then I go do it.
Yeah, we just did a renovation to the shop.
Oh, did you?
Yeah,
Why don't you come back down then?
Yeah.
Yeah. We got
We were
a
kind of in and
new...
out, so you didn't really. We should have walked you through it, but there was these two huge safes that Scott had never. We got them out of the way and moved them on, so that gave us like another 5-6 feet. And so
Yeah.
at the same time, Brandon decided. That's sort of one of those things. I'm like, Brandon, just do this. Make it so all the lint and stuff gets sucked out of the building, and make sure everything's flowing right, and make sure you got the workflow. So this is the sanding area. This is it, and it's great because I really don't have to do anything. It's the same thing with her. Like they're so independent with what they do. I'm just like, I'll give them a direction, and I can literally concentrate on what I have to do, and I really don't ever say, oh man, I hope they're doing it right. Because like Jack and River used to work for me a lot, and the whole time I'm working, I'm like, man, they better not be having this.
Like some of the, like I didn't even realize this. I saw you, what was that, like 2 weeks ago, you're over there with a micrometer measuring the parts that I'm hand making. I'm like, what are you doing? And you're like, I'm trying to figure out like if any of these are different, because you're just over there doing it by eye, and I'm having to use a micrometer to measure it. And like, what was the variance between them?
We had to, I have a, because I'm doing that deal with BDU, and because
talk
Gen
about
5
in a
parts are so, like we actually make Gen 5 parts out of Gen 3 parts.
Okay.
That's what we're doing, which is, I probably shouldn't even say that because it's, but anyway, no, they won't figure it out. But I have to have him do a certain process to it to make it work. And the company that I'm using said, hey, we need your plus minus in order to know where to cut these the way you're cutting them, because you have thousands of them out there and we know they work. We know the ones that he does work. So I had to go over there with a micrometer, and I'm measuring, and he he eyes it up, you know what I mean? He just does everyone by hand, by eye, with a cutoff wheel, like a Dremel. Like we don't really, I think that was always funny. People say, oh, you need the CNC machine, you need this, you need that. And I'm just like, you know what? We got our hands, and that's all we need. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And intuition. So
I use a cutoff wheel for the rough cut. Then I use a 2x80 belt grinder with a 600 grit belt to refine everything and take it down to exactly where it needs to go.
it couldn't be
You're
more
a high-speed
rudimentary.
motherfucker.
Yeah. It couldn't be more rudimentary. But the thing is, when you see some of these, like my buddy said he was just down in Mexico and they were making guns by hand. And he just said, man, you don't understand the craftsmanship that these guys are doing. Like they're literally having parts that really don't, they're messed up, but they're just making them all work. I thought it was really cool. But that's kind of like what we do around the shop. So Wick, I'm over there with the micrometer because I have to call the company and say, okay, make sure they're within this range and this range, and his were under 1,000th, just by, which is just very,
pretty-
very, very hard
pretty
to
impressive.
replicate. But every single one, boom, boom, boom. So I'd just take his figure and then round up 1 or 2 thousand, well, actually like about 1,000th on either side, and just say, hey, make sure every single one of these is within this number. And I did just get those back from them, so we'll see if their CNC machine is better than the old Wickster on this.
So what's Chelsea do?
Chelsea is
Oh, I have a name.
okay.
Chelsea, aka Larry.
Lady
Okay,
Larry.
okay,
Yeah.
Chelsea, aka
He got
Lady Larry.
introduced. I didn't.
She let me tell the whole story. So I won't tell the whole story, but Brandon is telling me he's hanging out with this girl. You know what I mean? Do you mind if she stops by and brings me lunch? And I said, oh, that's pretty cool. You know what I mean? So she
I don't
comes.
mind if she stops by and brings us lunch at all.
Right. I'm like, what about me? I own a joint. No.
You brought enough for everybody.
So she shows up the first time, and she's like, I feel really, very, very polite. Like she felt bad. She's like, look, I feel really bad. Like, are you sure? I'm like, no, he can do his work and have a guest here. You know what I mean? It's not like he's, one of the kids where work ceases. Like he could actually keep us productivity. So I had no problem with it. And I think it was like maybe the third time she came, and she was like, you know what? I feel really bad. Do you have anything I could do? And I'm like, well, yeah, sure. You know what I mean? And she's asking, so I put her on some like, sticker packaging, that kind of stuff. And I I've worked a lot of jobs. I've hired a lot of people. I've done a lot of stuff where I've been foremans on construction, everything from restaurants and all that. So I'm just kind of checking around out of the corner of my eye, and I'm like, this chick can work, man. You know what I mean? Because you can tell when people know how to
That's
work.
what you get for freaking stopping by to bring lunch.
right.
The next thing you know, yeah, you can
free
stop by
labor.
for lunch.
Yeah.
Well, no, I wanted to help. I just felt bad because like he was letting me come and hang out, and I just was like, Johnny was such a cool guy, cool boss, and I was.
He's so cool.
Yeah. Get that raise a couple weeks sooner.
Right.
All right. So anyway.
See that on next week's paycheck.
Oh no, he's paying me for today.
So
What about the Jester?
So, wait, let's
Oh, go ahead,
one
finish.
story at a
All right,
time.
one story at a time.
All right. So
Oh, that's not it.
now I throw some more stuff to her, and this is a little bit more sophisticated. And so I look over at her, and she's like doing it, but I see her writing stuff down. And so I come over and I said, "What are you doing?" And she's like,
Industrial espionage.
"No." She's like, "I'm timing myself." You probably don't even remember that I picked that up. You're like, "I'm timing myself. I want to see how
Oh,
fast I."
efficient.
Exactly, dude. Like that is and I'm like, oh hell no, this girl, like, she's not going anywhere. I told Wick, I said, you screw us up, bro, you're fired.
Fire you,
But
find
yeah,
her
yeah,
a new
but-
boyfriend.
But that's it. But since then, anything, and that's part of the reason why we renovated the shop, because she's going to start doing some polishing and some other stuff that she's more than capable of doing. It's just the way it was set up before. We didn't have the ability for her to step into some of those different roles.
Yep.
And the boys will come in and putting the packaging together. Like, I want the place to be. It's always morphing, you know what I mean? Because we're getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And so basically,
Well, there was
like,
one point in
everything
time
needs to be
when
rearranged
we
and then
were both at the same
organized. And then so she's kind of putting her stamp on the, the packaging. And, once the triggers are done, she'll take these big trays of triggers. You can see it on my Instagram if you guys want to check out the Instagram. And her
Which you
Instagram.
should.
Lots of that stuff with her polishing them and tagging them up, bagging them, doing all this kind of stuff. And she puts together all the trigger shoes. Yeah, I don't really think there's too much in there that you really couldn't do it if I threw it at you. Maybe not cutting the bars like that, but But yeah, I tell you what, these two are just I could not do what I do without them. They are irreplaceable or whatever. There's another word there's one of those indispensable, or I don't know.
There
It's
you go.
probably-
So you're doing a good job.
Yeah,
Don't
yeah,
look at the
I'm trying.
dyslexic guy.
Right.
But don't forget about Jake.
Exactly. Jake couldn't be here tonight. He's got an early bedtime. That's it. That's his dedication. He's there first thing in the morning because he does the fulfillment. So same thing with him. Like when I had COVID, this ship couldn't have run if it wasn't for the having this tight of a ship.
I want to make sure Jake gets his credit. That's it. Because
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know
so
he didn't want to
Jake-
be on my
Jake-
shop.
Yeah, so beyond fulfillment and stuff, he gets up, he gets all the orders out.
Yeah.
He knows the business end of it, like the business end of it, like I do. You know what I mean? So I could totally have him there doing things, answering calls, me talking to him, all that kind of stuff, because he knows the platforms that we use, the shipping platforms and all that. And then beyond that, he's like the Mr. Polish perfection, you know what I mean? Like Wick just, he's my bull in a china shop, man. He's the speed, man. He's just, you know what I mean? And then I'll send this, just a little finalized touch. I'll send it over to Jake, and he'll do the final little spin on it, and then that's the way the whole thing works. Then I get it back. It's just like this whole thing. That's
Nice.
so, yeah. That's the.
You reading any of the comments? You're just sitting over there
Oh,
drinking.
but you guys are having such a great conversation. I'm just enthralled.
There's a good world enthralled.
Yeah.
I mean,
You got a lot of people watching.
Every comment up there is Sean Hilton except for one.
Are those the actual comments?
Victor Hayden,
Yeah.
What up?
William Stuck, Susie England is on.
I'm 100% Larry could cut the bars if she needed. You're right. But she would
James
have to wear
Gerard.
glasses.
So wait a minute.
I just
Not
did
to
safety squints.
not to take the camera off you for a second.
Yeah.
Why don't you let them know what we're going to be doing together?
Oh, you and me?
Yeah.
Oh, we're
Well,
going,
actually, you, me, and Julie.
yes, the three of us.
Oh, yeah, I want to say one more thing.
Did you
We
forget
had a
it?
nickname for her, I mean, and we still do, Lady Larry. But I said, well, what's your real name? And she said, Chelsea. And I said, what's your last name? And she said, Kraft. And I was like, oh my God. Like, it couldn't, because she's so crafty, I mean, it couldn't be more. I literally, in my head, I'm like,
You
going,
did. You
Like
thought
it-
that was the funniest thing that day.
I thought it was funny, but I thought it was so apropos because she is. She's like, you know what I mean? Like I could,
Words around here.
I'm sure you could make that dress if you wanted to. You know what I mean? That's the kind of mind you have.
She can.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Like it's just. But when she
Okay.
said her last name was Kraft, I'm like, you have got to be effing me. That
So you
could
think
not
like
be
that,
more.
I would be like,
could not be more
like the
perfect.
cheese,
Every time I write her chest,
That
I
was
write her
high
last
school.
name, I just
Kraft
smile.
macaroni and cheese.
right?
That
I'm
kind
saying.
of Kraft,
Yeah.
man.
So tell them what we're going to be doing
Okay.
and what it's going to be called. 'Cause it's a great name.
Oh no, I forgot it.
Isn't it like Lady Larry learns lead
Yes.
slinging or something
yes.
like that?
Lady Larry learns lead because my Insta is Lady Larry. Two
With
underscores.
2 underscores.
2. Thanks. But we're going to be doing what is it, like a 3-part series here?
I don't know how many parts.
A lot of parts.
A lot of parts.
Every-
All of the parts series of me learning how to shoot properly with handgun, shotgun, and rifle, right?
Yep.
So
And revolver.
No.
But
had to
the
say.
guy said that the revolver is the best gun to use.
For a woman, because they're small and they're light and they're simple like them.
Oh.
Oh.
Gun fuds.
Oh, man,
It's a long-standing thing in the gun community that like you'd go into a gun shop and they would always push the lady toward a revolver.
because you guys,
Which
it's
was the
like
most-
this. It's not like you're real people. You don't need a real gun. Like that's what happened. That's what started the whole Veritas thing. Was I walked out and there was a guy in a big cowboy hat, big guy, right here, had his woman next to him and goes, "She needs something, snub-nosed revolver, something that's small, light, and simple like her." And I was like, "Oh, this ought to be good." And she was like, right, and me being able to mind my own business, I'm like, "What do you got?" He's like, "Glock 21." I'm like, "Why don't you get a revolver?" He's like, "I got 13 rounds of 45. I'm like, "Aren't you afraid that gun's gonna jam?" He's like, "My Glock never jams." And at that point, it wasn't even any fun anymore to make fun of him.
Yeah,
Like,
right.
it's just it's like passing him on the highway.
Yeah.
You know, it's just not a challenge.
No sport.
So that's when I left and went and started Veritas. Called Jesse. And the next day we started Veritas, just because of that, because I couldn't take it anymore. Like when they put all the safeties on the Smith & Wesson EZ. Because women, they need those safeties because, you know, they could shoot themselves because they're not real people like men.
It's ridiculous.
Somebody tried to argue with me, and I go, "Here's a shield. Why doesn't this have stupid-ass safeties on it?" I'm like, oh, well, because that one's made for men. This one's not. That's how that company thinks. Now I'm going to get sued, but whatever. Maybe they don't. They don't think like that.
So
J-frame revolvers, for women, whatever.
Lady Larry learns lead.
I
yeah.
think it should be Lady
gonna be
Larry
fun.
learns lead slinging.
Lead slinging, yeah, there you go.
Lead farming. No lead farming.
Then she's got to have
Make
2
a digital download,
M16s.
you know what I mean? So we can,
Ching. You know what I'm talking about.
right, everything's fungible.
So, what's the big news you got going on now?
Well, if you're subscribed to my YouTube channel,
You would know this.
you would know. Big Daddy Unlimited. They're up in Gainesville. They're sort of like a subscription.
They're the Costco
That's what I call
of the gun world.
Costco of the gun world. So basically, you get a membership, and that gives you privy to, you know, you get your carry insurance through that. They got Gun Vault. They have a bunch of different perks for that membership, but also you get, you know, incredible deals all the time because, you know, they have massive buying power, so they buy lots of stuff in bulk, and that way they can
Massive.
pass those discounts on to their members. So
When he says massive, we went into their warehouse and we're just looking around like, holy shit.
yeah, it's like a hang.
You going to John Wicks safe? Did you go in the safe?
No, we didn't. But we.
No, they have
we
all
did-
that stuff laid out on the floor up in the upstairs office.
Yeah, it'll be up on the video, the third
Yeah.
video that we're doing, because we did 3 parts to it. You know what I mean? So yeah, but that John Wick safe that they did for SHOT Show last year. Yeah,
It's pretty cool.
yeah. So they're right up in. I never got into cahoots with any other, you know, people because I just didn't. You know, what am I gonna do? Like, someone's in California, this guy's over here. Like, I wanted to like know the people that I'm getting into business with. And so Gainesville was like a no-brainer. I just went up there once with Jimmy from Pilgrim Ammunition. He introduced me to those guys.
Jimmy the Pilgrim.
Yep, Jimmy the Pilgrim went up there, and Yeah, it was really cool. Met the majority of them the first time, and I was like, man, this is really, these guys are really together, and the company's, it's a startup almost still. You know, they had like 32 employees last year. They're up to like 165, and they're just killing it. And so now they're doing textiles. You know, if you watch the video, they talk about, you know, they have, they're going to do like a YouTube's sort of Instagram thing on their own. What's it called?
Yeah, I forget what it's called, but they're doing their own social media platform. They're
Excluded, that's what it's called. Excluded.
And from what we understand, they're doing their own server farm, own everything, so they can't be booted. Like with Rumble, when crap, what was his name? Yeah, Parler. Parler was set up with the idea of, okay, we're not going to censor people, we're not going to do this. They were using the Amazon servers. Amazon went, well, we don't like that you're not censoring things that we don't agree with. So even though you're an independent app and you can do whatever you want, you're using our servers. So we're taking the servers away from you. Go find somebody else.
Right.
Killed the whole platform, and it was on its way to actually being a real platform. So hopefully BDU does this properly, makes it so nobody can shut them down, and actually doesn't censor people, because all of us are shadow banned. Like when you go to type in any of our names on social media, you have to type in the full name.
Like, yeah, normally you'll type at Johnny, and all of a sudden, like, it'll fill it all in. Like, yeah, you literally have to type the whole.
It's like people always tell me, like, I don't get anything from you. I don't get anything from Frontside Press. I'm like, I know.
Yes.
You know.
We're shadow banned.
And I can't understand why. We had Nancy Pelosi on the show. Did you see that?
No.
We had the skeleton.
Oh, really?
The wood skeleton.
I hope you put the eyebrows on it.
Yeah.
Put some vodka in her hand.
Awesome
Hysterical.
human being, that woman.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Well, she'll probably quit. She'll probably resign because of the whole insider, because of the whole stock market thing now. Like
She's on her way out for sure.
Yeah, but if anybody watching this, if you do follow, you know, Mike, Johnny, me, Larry, anybody, doesn't matter who you're following, if they're in the gun community, they're most likely going to be shadow banned. The ways that you can actually help them is, you know, like the videos or pictures,
share and comment.
Whatever. Comment is the #1 thing. So if you and your buddy want to have a full-blown conversation in the comment section of whatever thing is there, the algorithm is going to pick that up and go, huh, people are interested in this, there's a lot of back and forth going on, and then it will push it further up, and then...
I wonder if that's how Garand Thumb got so...
well, that's his thing. You know, that's his thing.
The comment section's like off the hook. You know,
well, like, here's the deal. Like, he does really
was
well
on
at this.
BDUs.
Like,
He was
BDU, right? He's the one that came up with Costco of the gun world.
Oh, he did?
He came up with that.
With that term.
Right. And like, because what he said is it worth it? And he'd go, are you worth it? Like that.
Right.
You know, like that. But his thing is, like, he goats people into commenting.
Yeah.
Right? He's like, I can't control you. The comment section is out of control.
Yeah.
And it's awesome, right? Because then people are like, you know, like that. And that's what you want. You know, like, the only, like, no one's ever wanted to have to deal with a troll because you just want to beat the piss out of them. Like, break their keyboard over their head and stick it in their ass or whatever and just kill them, right?
And just twist it and then...
But now, like, all the people that do this stupid shit like that, all that does is help you.
Yeah, right.
So, Frontside Press would be a lot better if there were more Sean Hiltons in the world. That's all I'm saying.
Sean.
We love you, Sean, in a totally gay kind of way.
Yeah, so BDU. So basically, they're sponsoring the YouTube channel.
Yep.
Which is great, you know, and you know, I'm always transparent about that. I get out of that $9, I get a little bit of that, which helps me because you know, then I can pay these guys because I pretty much said, hey, look, I suck at this. You guys are great at it.
If you need any tips, let me know because I'm doing my Instagram, and I seem to be rocking it the last couple of days. So
yeah,
you're welcome. So, in regards to that, if you comment on his Instagram or his Instagram, I will be the one commenting back. If you send either of them a direct message, they will be the ones responding to your messages. I'm posting stuff for them and responding to comments.
It's bad when my daughter calls me and goes, who's doing your Instagram? I'm like, what are you talking about? I am. She's like, no, you're not.
No.
Yeah, because I hate, you know, it's like, not that I hate it, I think it's cool, but I just have other stuff I have to do.
I just don't know how to do it. Like, I'm just not good at it.
Yeah.
Like, he's this is
Well,
what
he's got, you gotta
I
like
get a
it,
text. Go check your Instagram and comment on the video. And I'm like this. Yes, sir.
Yeah, I
Great
can't-
job.
Yeah, and then I was like, you
He's
know
like,
what?
never mind, give me a login.
Yeah, just give me your info and I'll do it, because I'll tell you to do something 7 days later. I did it. It doesn't matter now. You needed to do it within the first 10 minutes.
You gotta let me know. No one's giving me any rules to this.
You know, I came home and it was, I guess it's about, I forget what time, no, 5 something after I picked up River from boxing. And Jack's like, saw you sucky shooting. And I go, what are you talking about? He goes, on Instagram, man, I saw it. And I go, what do you mean? He's like, and I said, I didn't post anything. He goes, well, there's one there you sucking. He goes, he's like, and he's like, look, tell Mike I love him. So I get on Instagram and I'm like, look, I'm like, man,
You hit every single
I
target.
know, but you know what I'm saying. Like, what do you expect Jack to say?
Yeah.
Hey, man, good run. Even if you have the best run, he's like, that's trash, dude.
That kid's so fast, though.
He is really good. Yeah.
So fast. I'm
What
just
I
like,
love, though, but even when I love more than that is when River shows up after not being there
Yeah.
for like 6 months and is right on his heels.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that's the coolest thing.
drives him.
And both those guys are boxing together now, so it's on.
Oh, that's right.
Oh, yeah, I mean, it is on.
Nice.
And the cool thing is that River's been there for a year and a half, and he's got like, you know, he's got
Yeah.
his cadence, his rhythm, and he's showing, you know, like it's brought them together more. Is like,
Where are they
it's
boxing?
great.
Tell them where they're boxing.
Jayco's Uppercut Fitness right there off like Constitution Boulevard, right around the corner from there. I can't say enough about Aaron Jayco and his crew there. Those guys they're just great guys, man. You know, and you know it's cool because it's like it's like a, you know, in a society where they're trying to emasculate men.
Yep.
You know what I mean? It's a boxing gym, and it runs like a boxing gym. Everyone in there is conservatives, you know what I mean? Everyone's just yucking it. I mean, it's just one of the coolest things ever because, like, that's something that you just like, oh, you know, it's too macho, you know? I mean, it's just ridiculous.
Yeah, I'm tired of
so
all
it's a
that
breath
crap.
of fresh air to go in there and just, you know, hear the jargon and everyone's working toward a goal. You know what I mean? They're making themselves better. They're bettering themselves. So, anyway.
I feel like
back
having
to-
my nephew here,
and back to
Brandon, going
BDU.
working
Back
out.
to helping
Steal
you
at
out
the
with
house, make you feel
BDU.
better, get going.
So helping him out with BDU real quick. So if you sign up for BDU, you need to use his code. It's the, you know,
It's www.bigdaddyunlimited.com/JohnnyGlocks with an S. We made the mistake thinking there wasn't an S. Make sure you put the S.
Now, you can either type all that out or you can cheat. Go onto his YouTube page.
It's in the
Like,
description.
comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. And then just go to the video from BDU. There's 2 of them up so far. Go down in the description.
They can just
click
click in the top right corner.
All right, so here's what we're going to do.
Okay.
There's a
We're
link
going
in
to
the
have,
top right
a little
corner.
quiz,
Okay.
little test for the audience, including the live studio audience. Out of the 5 of us up here right now, who are the social media people? Take a guess. We just want to know what you guys think. Let's hear it up there in the comments.
Not me.
Go out on a limb. Take a guess.
Definitely Johnny. 100% Johnny.
Right. Could not happen without me.
I'm gonna go check on my messages on Insta right now, because I am all about the grams. Oh, wait, I
We're
got a
near the
message.
ghetto. You might want to use a different phrase.
The grams. All about the. Yeah. So anyway, I'm doing along with the YouTube channel they're sponsoring. It's going to be a 4 trigger deal. Yeah. So.
Quattro.
Yeah, Quattro. You know what I mean? That's how I roll. We're going to do 4 different triggers. Probably drop 1 each quarter. The second one is going to be very interesting though, because it is and actually we might kick it off with the bind. It's going to be a binary trigger. Yes, you heard me right. It is a legitimate, safe, consistent binary Glock trigger. So it's bang, 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 bang. It will not go full auto. It's only going to go twice. It's one of those things. Look, you know, it's a novelty trigger, but you know, everyone and their brother is going to have one. You know, slap.
I'm gonna
it.
put it in my micro-roni.
Yeah, as I was gonna say, that's it. Get it in the box or whatever. There was another.
It's semi-automatic.
Yeah, someone just sent me a op to show you. It's called something ops. Something. It's another.
Black Ops.
No, not Black Ops. It's a Roni-esque looking thing that was. I thought it was really cool looking. But that's it. So it's going to be a defensive trigger, of course, because if you have a Glock, you should be using defensively. And then a binary trigger. Then we're going to set competition trigger for those guys that like to compete with Glocks. And then there's like a kind of a hybrid, which is kind of, I call it like the Goldilocks trigger. It's kind of like the in-between, you know, different strokes for different folks, the spice of life, you know what I'm saying?
You know what you should do is you should set up a gun that Austin and I can use in the unlimited thing.
Oh.
Let's hear it for Joey setting up the gun.
Yeah.
You were late on the sound effects.
What a guy! What a guy! What do you think, Austin? Yeah, see, what a guy.
So we're going to do what?
Hey,
Like
did you thank him for your Christmas present?
we'll do like a 34, 9mm.
What's that?
Put the aim point on the top
Oh,
of
yeah.
it. Yeah, all that's
I want all the weird shit.
with the gas pedal
Like
on
the one,
there.
yeah, like I see the guys running these guns, I'm like, what the hell is that? They get stuff sticking out the side. I want stuff sticking out the side.
Looks like something Boba Fett would run with.
Right.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
I don't know, I've been watching Boba Fett get some old Turkish rifle that shoots
Yeah.
lasers. I don't know about that.
Hey, if it shoots lasers, I want one.
You get a shark with the laser eyes.
No.
No,
Sharks.
it's sharks
No
with
sharks.
the laser beams just mounted on the back.
I want to find this real quick. Yeah, so I'm really excited about that. And like I said, you know, and we talk about the trolls.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So as soon as the BDU thing goes up, you know, I have to hear about, oh, those guys are scumbags. They were part of a gun buyback.
Yep.
And you know, and technically they, you know, I start the second video that way because there was like all these comments. I said, you know, they were at a gun buyback, but they were not supporting the gun buyback.
Right.
They were the anti-gun buy. They were saying, okay, look, because it was in Gainesville, and the shtick was like the sheriff's department was like, look, if you're afraid that, like, because I think it was right on the heels of those kids killing the 14-year-old, and you know they would shot each other. They got their parents' guns, which are idiots. Like, look, if you instead of buying your gun, instead of like having to get rid of your gun, this is a call to safe. You put it in a safe. Your kid's not going to get it, and that's a smart idea.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, so they gave away a bunch of safes. They gave away coupons for safes if you became members. They gave their membership stuff away. So they were not advocating for gun buybacks. They were advocating for for gun safety and to give people an informed decision on something they could do other than just getting rid of their gun, selling it to selling it back.
It's like this. I had a pep talk the other day. All right, so my buddy who is like I've done bodyguard work with him, like protection work with him, stuff like that. He's got a security company now. He's doing business development for another company and stuff like that.
Right.
He's just like, can we talk? And I'm like, yeah. Right, and he's doing the whole thing. He's like, Mike, listen, we're friends. But I'm like, Darren, come on, we're friends, all right? Like, you don't get to lead off with we're friends. Just freaking give it to me, you know what I mean?
Right.
And he's like, he goes, here's the deal. If you're not being hated, you're not doing a good enough job.
Yeah. That's
He's like,
true.
and what you're afraid of, and he's right, he's like, you're trying to make everybody happy, right?
I like that better than the Roni kit. I don't like the Roni kit.
I love the Roni kit, but what is this? It looks like
I
a
don't know,
Roni.
I mean,
It looks
just
more
looks
streamlined.
Looks like it just
the
kind of came
Roni
out.
kit's too big.
What is this? Who
What
makes
is
it?
it? POS Scout? What's it say on there?
It says, yeah, I don't know, I can only see part of it. So it
Look
could
at
be
the side,
it
look
could be an APOS, it could be an EPOS.
No, look at the blue part there. See it in the
Right
blue?
here.
No, go down a little bit.
Oh, right there.
Do you need glasses?
KPOS.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do. I got shitty friggin' eyes. Because you know why? Because my eyes are so good when I was younger. And now I'm old.
Oh, we know you're old.
Shit.
Right. She knows.
So if you're not being hated, I get it. But I mean, it's just people hating for. It's just ridiculous. But then
Haters
there's
are gonna
a rare.
hate. That is the greatest line ever.
Haters gonna hate.
Haters gonna hate.
Noah's gonna
And just
love.
push you further.
I don't really want.
Like, I gotta learn not to get so upset about stupid people saying stupid shit. But I can't. Because
No,
you know
we-
why?
it was,
Because I grew up in a society where you punch those sons of bitches in the mouth. And what it is you gotta think about this. You're bettering down.
Right.
You're bettering down.
You know-
That's what people don't understand. They run their mouth, like, you know, you're saying stupid shit, right? Whack, right? Then they're like, ooh, maybe I shouldn't say stupid shit. And then you just made them better.
Exactly, man.
It's just resetting the brain-mouth
You
filter.
should be a saint.
There's my daughter likes to listen to music, and it was like
How old's your daughter, first of all?
7.
Okay.
Well, I'm driving it back and forth to school. She's always getting, hey, put this on. And there was this, I think it was a Taylor Swift song. It's called "Calm Down" or something like that, you know. But the one lyric is like, you say it in the street, it's a knockout, but when you say it on Twitter, it's a cop out. And I was like, all right, man, I can relate to that. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like, shut the up.
Yep.
You know what I mean? But it's
He didn't say it though.
no, I didn't.
Are you freaking kidding me? Are you freaking kidding me? She plays a soundbite, and you try to find me for it?
You know I didn't say it. That was phoneticized.
Is that what they call it?
Well, my kids will do that. They're playing.
Exactly.
And they go, "Uck," because they know.
And you're like, as a parent, you're like,
know better.
you're like, I'm okay with that. They didn't actually say it.
No, I'd still put my foot up there.
I know. But you come to my house,
I'm an adult, and I'll throw it on the ground.
Fucking sexy.
So,
You're trying to get me fined.
yeah. So then there's another thing, like the rare breed trigger came out. You know what I
Yep.
mean? And there's a whole backstory to this. There's an inventor named Thomas Graves. He came up with the hard reset technology and sold it to a company. Rare breed purchased that. So rare breed had the technology legally to build what they based their hard reset trigger on. And then someone, you know, pitches to Big Daddy Unlimited like, hey, we have a hard reset trigger too that we're developing. And Big Daddy says, all right, cool, let's do it. You know, let's roll with it. And so, you know, who knew if it was going to beat the patent? You know, I mean, there's got to be, there's patent laws or whatever, you know what I mean? But you get these people on the line thinking they're like patent attorneys, like, oh, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
And it's like, look, unless you're privy to the freaking case, you know, everything like this. So after I told you guys, you know, when I said that it's still litigating, it's still like this, that, and someone wrote, no, they lost. And I was like, oh, I'll have to check in on that. And then someone wrote, like, no, they didn't lost. There was a preliminary injunction. They can't sell the trigger anymore, which usually isn't a good idea for a, you know, for a case. It's like kind of like, oh, that's kind of like pointing to the wrong direction.
Yeah.
But when I talked to one of the guys at Big Daddy, he said, look, our lawyers are back on it. We're trying to get it overturned because they still feel that there's enough to their trigger that makes it distinctly different from the rare breed.
So they can't sell it, but could they give them away? Because I'd like to have one of those.
Yeah, right. I'm sure they could give them away.
I really want to know how that thing's work. I think I can get it to work the way it's supposed to.
Yeah.
Well, it worked great when we put non-crappy reloads in it.
Yeah, but it's like this. Like, I want it to work for self-defense. Like, cause, I don't know anything about it. You just like go easy on it. It's like, and I let go, and I let go. I want to use it the way it's designed to be used. You know what I mean? Because I'd love to be able to take single shots, or just like that, and maybe put that in, you know, maybe an AR that's, you know, next to my bed that goes with my night vision.
Yeah, I mean, when
like
we were up at
we were up at
Epic Shoot, when we were up at Epic Shoot and they had like the guns loaded, I mean, those things were so hot they were burning through the ammo.
Yeah.
Which had I known, I definitely would have. If it wasn't in such an infancy of the deal, I'd have been like, look, I don't care what you guys say, I'm bringing a Wick. You know what I mean? Because the filming guys, I could have probably even pushed to get you to come too, because, you know, the filming job these guys do is just, what's that? I have security, Mike's security, all right? We have him security. Filming and security. And then Julie will be there to make sure he doesn't get in trouble. We'll have bring the whole crew.
She's got the hardest job.
Yeah. But yeah, you know, so they were burning, and there was a couple guys that could run that trigger, but like I told you, then Jerry Michelik gets up.
Yeah, and he just shoots faster single out.
He shoots faster than the what? And he's like, you know what I mean? It was like
exactly.
AK-47. That was what that was.
So and then it's like you gotta understand that like he is so fast that they had to put a 30-pound spring in a revolver so that the hammer could keep up with him.
Really?
That's
for the
ridiculous.
return. Wow.
30 pounds. Like I like a nice firm reset, but there ain't nothing 30-poundish in my freaking gun. Well, I don't know why I'm telling you that.
You know, he did come. I got pictures of he and I, and
there's like 3 pictures from that whole thing with you because you suck at social media.
Yeah, because I was talking to everyone too, and And then James.
Why do you say he sucks at social? Then you give me the dirty look.
Oh, you suck at it too.
I know, but like that's got nothing to do with him.
He
Like, can't you
complains
just be
about
mad
it
at him?
home too.
You suck worse, probably.
Oh, I'm horrible.
Yeah.
Pretty horrible.
So I knew he was going to be up there. So I had a bunch of just, the prototypes for the triggers I'm building for BDU.
Yeah.
And so he came up and he was, feeling those. And I said, hey, wait a minute, I got one for you to check out. And I pulled it out and I gave it to him and he snugged up against it and he like clicked it and he looked up at me. And then he because he still wasn't, like he gave me the half okay. Then he like does the reset and he's like, let's go. And he goes, that's a shootable trigger. And that's enough. You know what I mean?
Probably the Mad Dog McGowan trigger.
That wasn't the Mad Dog McGowan. That was the I don't even know what to call that thing. That's a kitchen sink competition, one of those things. I said, come on, you want to go take it for a ride? He's like, I got to be careful what I ride. I'm like, yeah, I get it.
This is the same guy right here that like, what was it, like 6-7 years ago, calls me and goes, hey, I was out in California, I was shooting, and this old guy comes over, and he's shooting, he's like really fast. He tried my trigger. He's got some weird last name. I'm like, oh, shit. Like, what have I got myself into?
Because I really didn't know anyone then.
I know, like that first year was very painful for me. Like, you're like, hey, do you know who this guy is? I'm like, how do you not know who that guy is? I'm like, you do Glock triggers. How do you not know who he is? Well, he just really likes my trigger, but we can't talk about it. I'm like, some old guy shoots really fast.
And then the story about Robert Vogel. He calls me up. I forgot his name was Robert Vogel. This guy calls me out once a trigger, so I'm like bullshit, and I'm so glad because Robert Vogel is like he's a.
You fucking know better.
He's someone you should know. I mean, he's like shooting with Terran. I mean, he's like as fast as Terran, stuff like that. So he's
awesome.
Yeah, he's one of those guys.
You can watch him compete against Terran.
Yeah.
Out at Terran's place, like they shoot against each other. They do the hip shooting plate rack, like.
Yeah, and they're like within like tenths of, not even like a, point.
He's off
2, and then finally he's like, the only reason you're beating me is because you're coming from the hip. So Vogel was coming out like this, and Terran was coming from the hip. So he's like, that's the only reason you're beating me. But it was cool to watch those two go back, and it was really, they were having fun, but they're just such proficient shooters.
Like he's a SWAT guy. Like he's a real SWAT cop, right?
Yeah, he was Miami.
But he's
Miami
like a real deal. He's a real deal. Top level world champion, shit like that.
But he's been doing it for he's been in the Glock since they started.
Like he's the one that if you like his right hand right here looks like Hamburg, right? Because what he does, he gets up so high that when a slide goes past, it slices him open, right? Like
But he can physically make a Glock malfunction just by his grip.
He's ridiculous, right? Like you should really check him out. And like one of the best things I've ever seen him do, which we're going to do with the G license recoil that we were talking about, is he shoots his qualification, all right, at twice the distance at half the speed. Exactly.
Yeah, so he called me way back. I mean, it had to be like 8 years ago or something. Call me, and I know, Do you know who this is? This is me on the phone. You kidding me, right? Well, do you know him? Like, I gotta go. Yeah, he's like, I got like 20 Glock. I mean, I didn't put 2 and 2 together because I thought he said his name was Robin Vogel, and so I call him back and I'm like, hey, wait a minute. I said, you're Robert Vogel, like Vogel. He's like, who the hell am I talking? Like the Robert Vogel? He's like he's gonna cost me money. And then I'm like, all right, man, I'll send you all kind of shit. But that's when I was first getting started in the competition. And that was no underwear, no shoes, and socks on the range, and me going like, you're kidding me, right? Like there were some. Let's just say there were some dark trigger days back in the beginning. Everywhere. That was my thing. Like I'm like, you can't do this. You can't do this. I would be barefooted in the range. You know what I mean? Just because I didn't understand. We need to bring the kilts back. I'm ready to start kilting it. Hey, once the hot weather kicks in, well, we could. It's even more comfortable now.
Yeah, there's less mosquitoes.
You ever worn a kilt?
I've worn a kilt here.
I don't know about that. So whenever. You ever wear a kilt? Oh. You gotta wear a kilt.
It's fantastic.
The kilt makes you sit like this.
What you got underneath that
Right.
kilt?
My shoes.
Yeah.
That happened to me once when I got arrested. The cops first give me, he's like, anything on, you got anything underneath this kilt? I'm like, only my boots. He's like, thanks for telling me.
Like, it's just, and now that I'm Irish, do you know that?
Mike Magawan.
Well, it's like this. Chief Magawan. That's Romy. Chief Magawan, phone call for Chief Magawan. Like,
All right.
what do we got? Oh, we're way past time.
Oh, yeah.
I can't believe Mike must be gone.
He fell asleep.
All right, here's what we got to do. So we're going to do.
Oh yeah.
Like, since Johnny's so gracious and, you know, to give us 2 triggers, one for the backpack, one to raffle. We're going to raffle off 3 winners, all right, for the trigger, and then 4 weeks from now, after we got 4 weeks, or the 5th week, we'll raffle off the trigger,
Okay.
all right? And then, so we're going to do 6. We're going to do 6 tonight
3
for the
for the
backpack,
backpack.
which now is going to have a Johnny Custom Glock trigger in it,
Wow.
and 1 to win 1 this month.
All right. Okay, so
Let Larry do it.
there you go.
Oh.
Don't peek.
Oh.
Holy crap!
I don't know these people.
I gotta pass
Just
it
throw
over.
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Those
okay.
are to me.
All
I
right.
check it out.
But I want to keep it.
And we're looking at 46. Let me pass it back.
Backpack.
Because
Pass it
46.
back.
This is the backpack.
46. All right. Check them out.
I want to make sure it's a good pick, man.
I told you she was
51.
Nice.
Which got good hands.
As in,
You should know.
51.
What?
Nine. That's how you make friends here.
Yeah.
51. Not making a lot of friends
Wait,
out
you
there.
gotta put that one
Oh.
Nine.
Yeah.
Need to cut him off from the kumbachi or whatever the hell he's drinking.
Kombucha. I don't know how to say it. All right. So now the next 3 are for the trigger.
Yes.
Okay.
For a chance to win.
A
Got 3
chance-
triggers.
Yeah, a chance to win the trigger.
What is that? 11.
11. Cool.
Oh, nice.
Look at Jimmy back there. Look at Jimmy.
Oh yeah, no kidding.
Jimmy's already won one. 47.
That's my number 2.
Sean
Benny
Hilton.
Hanna.
Sean Hilton's won 4 times already.
Isn't he disqualified from winning now?
No, because I love it.
Well, he's close by. So he can come pick the stuff up.
29.
All right, come on, Benny Hanna.
All right.
Benny
You ready?
Hanna.
You ready?
I'm ready.
Oh.
That's what, you know when they do that, when they throw the shrimp up in the air and everyone's
Oh, yeah.
like this? I'm always like the
With the
picture
hat?
that smacks it out of the flips it up in the air. River catches everyone. How many times have you been there with us?
Twice.
I thought it was more.
What's
than that.
River do?
I think we go there for the
twice.
birthday. They do the chop and
Yeah.
all that stuff. But when they throw the shrimp up, River's like the only one that can catch it consistently every time. I know I'm not going to catch it, so I just
Why do they actually throw it? They don't throw it
Yeah.
at me.
yeah, they cut
I
it
know
up.
you're not fast enough to catch it.
Oh, is that
They
what it
throw it
is?
up and you're like, yeah, you know what I mean?
How fast you got to be to sit there like that and drop it in your mouth?
They're just going to they get a thing of rice and just throw it at them. They know he'll catch something. Like,
I don't care what they're throwing at me as long as I'm eating it. I don't give a shit.
he's picking it
Is
off.
that 6?
6? Yeah, that's 6. We
Okay.
had 3 for the
She was like,
backpack, 3 for
6?
the trigger. Yeah.
All right. So now we're just bullshit until the names come up.
Yeah.
Look at Jimmy. Impatiently waiting. Hey, did you like it, Cher?
Oh.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot for your support.
Yeah,
My
yeah,
freaking
yeah.
family sucks. You know that?
I've been telling you that for years. That's so funny that your daughter called you up and said, "Who's doing your Instagram?"
Right.
Yeah.
I'm like, me. She's like, no, you're not.
How
She
many?
called me last week. She's like, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm doing my show. She goes, what show? Like, that's my family. That's my family. Like,
many-
now you call almost every week. He goes,
How
oh, it's
many
tonight
years?
Thursday? I'm like, yeah, if you watch the show, you would know that.
How many years have you been doing it?
Like 4 years?
Yeah.
What show? I love that. When a fan, like, I don't care if friends do it. Like, you don't watch my show? I don't get that channel. Like, Facebook? Okay, whatever. YouTube?
I don't get that channel.
What?
I'm banned.
Like, it's not bad enough they don't watch the show, but they call me while the show's on. And be like, what are you doing? My show!
Yeah.
What show?
And then
What do you think you're
I always give you the guilt call every once in a while. Hey, what's up? I'm watching the show. just to let you know. How nice of you to call me.
Look, I don't care. Like, I'm watching the show and you're not doing it. At least you're watching the show. Like, wait a minute. Before we get too far into that, let's explain what actually is happening. He wants me to know that he's watching the show because he never watches the show. So he's like, he's watching the show. He's going to call me and say, hey, I'm watching the show. Like, thanks.
But what he
You're
doesn't tell
paying
me,
for the show.
as
You
soon
should
as
at
he
least
hangs
watch
up, he turns the show off.
it. Right? Like,
No, I wasn't even
No, no,
commenting.
go ahead, we're
Remember,
good.
I was do throw some comments every once in a while.
that's all. I'm watching the show.
Uh-huh.
All right, here we go. We got names. We got
Yeah,
names.
from now on, I'm going to pay Wick to do that.
That's right. No.
It's Johnny Glock. I'm watching the show. Hey,
It's
Wick,
not-
you put the call
It's
in.
bad that you're doing that, but then he's having a conversation between the two of us. Neither one of us is involved.
Perfect.
He's like, look, that would be so funny. Like, if you like comment with these guys, it's gonna be me commenting for Mike or Jack. And then there's this long going conversation with him just texting back
Back
and
and
forth.
forth.
Hey, Mike, what? It's Jack. Hey, I mean Johnny. Call him Jack.
I call you Jack.
Yeah, I know.
All right.
What are those things? Bracelets.
Oh, bracelets? Ah.
Ah.
So first of all, they're not for raffle. I just get yelled at.
Oh.
These, two of these, because they're her new and improved ones.
Oh,
Signal whistle, compass, fire starter.
oh wow.
So these are going into the backpack. So two of
Okay.
these are going into the backpack.
Very
Two
good.
out of these three things are going into
what-
the backpack.
Where'd that other one go?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Nice.
Who makes these?
Huh?
Carrie.
Kerry does.
Oh, cool. Like that.
Fire starter and everything.
Where's the fire steel?
Right here. Oh, no,
You mean it's
you
a
gotta flick
fire
it out.
start?
You gotta get it out.
This is for shaving the. Is this for shaving?
Yeah, for the ferro rod.
All right, give us the names while these guys are
All
rubbing
right.
each
All
other
right.
over
Yeah.
here.
I bet it's better than rubbing yourself.
Number 9 is. Like, seriously? Wick, tell who number 9 is.
I don't know.
Gotta
I'm
be
not on
Sean.
Sean Hilton.
Of course.
Oh, are you kidding me?
It's the guy. Hey, he works hard, he deserves it. Be like,
Yeah.
are you gonna stop him from winning? No. I want you guys to work harder.
there. The goal is to beat Sean.
That's it.
That's all you got to do.
It's a game.
Sit there all day long.
Next.
Like a chair. Like a chair. Oh, look at that.
The belt. For Jake.
Will you stop that? She's distracted because she's watching you.
Come on.
$46 is the SMAD,
All right.
the ass prod.
Looks good. It's a good look. Try blowing the whistle from there.
All right. Bill Stuck, 51.
51. Bill Stuck. Okay.
Bill, don't know you, but I'm happy for you.
You know Bill? Oh, no, he don't got a Glock. He's got an FN.
He has an FN?
Yeah.
What the?
Now for the chance for the trivia.
Triggers. I'm hanging. John. Dana. Dana is the.
What number?
What number is it? 11 is Dana.
Dana. Okay.
That's not
Should
actually
be
her
doing
name.
during this dead time.
Her name's
My
Dana.
ass is completely soaked now.
Hey, Doc's on. Comment. That a girl.
It's like they turn the air off when they want us to leave.
Gotta open
Turn the
up
lights
my
off.
nosium.
47 is him.
Sean.
Yep. James B. Gerard coming in
Oh,
for number
nice.
29.
Did I win?
My phone died. I was just reading that.
Who's that?
Sean.
Of course you did. Why do you even ask? Like, I love, last week, this is what he sent me a text last week during the daytime. Said, hey, I'm coming up to the shop. Can I pick up my winnings from tonight?
My wings.
Yep.
And he won, but that's not the point. Oh, so I got a book for you out there for him, if you could grab that and
All right.
give that to him.
Oh yeah.
All right. So, I'd like to thank the three of you for being on tonight. It is always awesome to have you on.
My pleasure.
All right, so it's just a great time and being back in the seat when I'm actually here. I appreciate that.
Hey, it's my first time with you as
I
the
know.
host.
Yep, so it's like, you were here before.
It was
and
a
as you-
trial run, and then this is the real deal.
Oh, okay, all right. That makes me feel better because you're like,
Yeah.
you weren't here. Like I took the night off or something. Well, I might have. But we'll just go with I was sick. Was I sick?
Yeah.
She was like, I don't remember.
Ah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Sick. Whatever makes you happy, Mike. All right. So, Julie, thank you for doing the great job that you do. All right. I'm glad nobody got fined tonight, even though we're going to donate that money to charity. All right. I want to give it up. What's that? What are you doing calling me? You fucking know better.
Mike, or Sean said check your phone.
Check your phone.
Well,
Look,
while
now he's texting to the studio audience.
Yeah, no.
well, while he's checking his phone, if anybody wants to see any specific type of content, either instruction from him where he's just like explaining different drills, different types of things to do, leave those in comments. I will read them, and then I will stick a camera in his face like an asshole until he actually does what you want for educational purposes.
Yeah, because we shoot every Tuesday, so.
Yeah.
I'm like, what is he say? He sent me a screenshot, like, what the hell is it? And then I look up, and right here, it's 1%. He's like, this is dedication. I'm like, you're the man, Sean. So, once again, let's give it up for the live studio audience and the intern. Great job tonight, Andrew. Great job.
Andrew.
Do we waterboard him now, or is hazing next week?
No, we gotta wait till we get off screen. Mark said go easy on him tonight. Next week, it's all on.
Okay.
Well, it's not waterboarding if you use diesel.
I'd like to thank all my sponsors, especially the king sponsor, His Highness Johnny Custom Glock. But most of all, I want to thank you guys for supporting the channel. And even though you can't find me and they won't send you and let you know when I'm on, and you never get any of my posts or anything like that, but you still show up on Thursday night, 8-ish, even though none of my freaking family does.
It's okay, we love you.
We're out of here.
Roll it.
Play music. Thank you.